Hi everyone. I hope you're all having a great day. I am going to talk about setting boundaries. And I think I've just had what's called an epiphany. Did I pronounce that right? And thanks to many of you commenting and giving me so much more insight than I even had when I talked about being an estranged mom. Because I'm learning something every day, and I always appreciate everything. Not only your stories that you share, but thoughts about my stories. And in particular, that last video, and I hope the wind isn't a problem. It really feels great because it's been really hot out here, so I'm very comfortable out here in the breeze. My last video about being an estranged mom received an overwhelming response, and I'm so appreciative of all of your comments, of all of your thoughts, and I so understand your pain, your struggle, your turmoil. And as always, my videos and my channel has the main focus and sole focus of trying to offer inspiration, positive thoughts, if anything, just to know that I've gone through maybe what you are now, and perhaps that is comforting to you, and I'm sure it is for many of you. And that is my goal. That is all I want to do with this channel, to be as helpful and to use my own mistakes, my own past, my own true stories, just like I did with writing my books. Now, I just realized something pretty amazing to me because I had not realized it before. And that has to do with setting boundaries. And it has to do with many negative, nasty comments that I received, and probably many are still there because I've been taking care of them, and I'll explain that in a minute. And I realized something about myself and about how I interacted in the past with my daughter. And so I want to talk about this, and if any of you would like to share your thoughts, as always, I certainly welcome them. Now, up until now, I have been pretty much tolerating a lot of the negative comments, considering that it's all part of having a YouTube channel. And the more subscribers I receive, the more visibility my videos have, I'm going to get more of that. And only a few I have been deleting. But most recently, because of this video about why I know and why I understand why I'm an estranged parent, reason being, I'm not viewed as having value to my daughter anymore, and it's really that plain and simple. I have no purpose to her. I do not add anything to her life in terms of what she views as valuable, and so be it. I've moved on. I'm fine with it, and I enjoy my senior years now in my peaceful setting. But here's what I realized. First of all, the negative comments, I was thinking this morning, well, what are their intentions? Because they're not really presented in a thoughtful way or an insightful way, but they're directed with hate, with judgment, with unfair criticism, and with, what's the word for it? Casting me in a very, very negative light without knowing the full story, my background, who I am, or what my intentions are. And so what I was doing up until today, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do about those. Up until today, I was either saying thank you for your comment and leaving it at that, or I would ask them a question to see if they wanted to elaborate. Now, the few that did responded with very short, intensely hateful replies to my question. And I realized that their minds were made up, to be hateful, to be cruel, and to be judgmental. And I realized that I was accepting that, and I was passively allowing them to do so on my channel. Now, this leads me to my epiphany, because what I realized, and one of you mentioned this, and I should have written it down, who you were, because I really want to thank you, because you made me realize how these comments tie in to how I was as a mom. Because I had a window of opportunity to challenge my daughter when she first started being emotionally abusive. I had a window of opportunity while she was still living with me, and even afterwards when she had her own apartment, and even at the wedding. Well, I wouldn't have challenged her at the wedding. I wouldn't have done anything to diminish her happiness. But prior to that, I had many opportunities to put my foot down and sit at her kitchen table and say, "What the hell is going on with you?" Instead of running off in tears and hiding from her my reactions of deep confusion, torment, and tears, because I didn't want her to see that. Why? I don't know. I guess I wanted to protect her from knowing that I was upset. Now here's a deeper epiphany I had. This is exactly how I behaved with her father, and exactly how I behaved with my own parents. I hid my own sad reactions and pain to prevent them from being upset. And I considered my own feelings secondary to theirs. And it was a pattern that I did for years. And I placated every abusive person I ever encountered, not wanting to upset that abusive person. Now, how the heck does that make any sense? I don't know, but that's what I suddenly realized this morning. And that is what I did with my daughter. And in a way, I was part of the problem by, what is the word? When you're subservient to someone, gosh, I can't think of the word of it. It's not being passive. I know some of you will come up with it because you've helped me with this before. But I had been supportive of her behavior towards me by not addressing it, and by being passive and being silent. And so I've realized with my YouTube channel, my channel is for the sole purpose of providing inspiration, strength, hope, and comfort. Now, why the heck am I tolerating these negative comments? And I suddenly realized that I'm not going to anymore. And it took me all this time to realize it. And I'm so thankful for these negative comments, because I realized how tolerant I was of my daughter's negative behavior, of my past husband's negative behavior, and of my parents' negative behavior. Now, as a child, I didn't have any other option. I didn't have an escape route. I didn't have any other relatives to take care of me. And so I guess you could call that a coping mechanism to internalize my own. Now, I sound like a therapist here, and I'm not. So if I'm not getting this, feel free to offer your thoughts. But what I did was what I had to do back then to survive. And what I did was put all my feelings into a box and put the outward appearance of being fine. And that's what I did going forward. And that's what I did with my marriages. And that's what I did with all my jobs. And that's what I did with my daughter. Now, why didn't I confront her? Because, first of all, I was very insecure, even then as a mom, wondering, oh my gosh, I don't want to upset my daughter. She's been through enough. I've left her dad. I've left her stepfather. And I just want to be a safe place for her. And I don't want to create waves. And I don't want her to be upset. Well, what I didn't realize was that sometimes it's best to be upset, to work through those issues that are unsaid. And that is exactly what I should have done. I should have sat her down when she was 18 years old and told her, your behavior is not acceptable. And when she was 19 and when she was 20, I should have done the same thing and established my boundaries and made it very clear to her what was acceptable and what was not. And I didn't do that. And that's my fault. That's one of my faults. And I see it now. So what I'm going to do with this channel moving forward is every single time I see a hateful comment, a very strong negative admonishment of me or of my channel. First of all, for any of you who are tempted to continue to do that, please know that you're not hurting me at all. You're only hurting yourself, and you're only revealing yourself as a hateful, ignorant person. I welcome, and I hope the wind is not going to ruin this because I'm almost done here. I want you to know that I am well over all of the past trauma I have experienced, and that my stories that I tell on my channel are for the reasons of not only telling what I've endured, but what I learned from them. So they're not painful to me anymore. In fact, some of them, and I've said this before, they're so sad, they're funny. Because now I see what they really were, and what they really were sad situations that I didn't know how to deal with. And by sharing them, I'm not reliving them in the way that you think I am. I'm reliving them from a distant, from the distance of the years that have passed, and with the wisdom that I have gained in the purpose of sharing that wisdom. So, any future hateful comments, nasty condemnations of me, is that a word? What I'm going to do is hit that button that says hide user. So you won't know if I have hidden you from my channel or not. You won't see, I'm not sure if you'll see your comment. I don't believe you will. But you will not be banished from my channel. You are most welcome to watch my videos. But I am establishing a new boundary, and that is that my boundaries are not going to tolerate any abusive behavior on my channel. And it took me way too long to figure this out. Now, my viewers also do not deserve to be subjected to your nasty comments. And in honor of everyone here, that is the second reason why you are going to be banished from my channel. Being here is not a right, it is a privilege. And I just would like to mention that if you're still here, you are most welcome to ask me anything you'd like, as long as you are polite and respectful. And I welcome any of your thoughts and questions, because I will answer you. Now, I'm trying to get caught up. I think I'm still 3 days behind. And my target is to get caught up to the present day, so I can react right away with each video as I publish them. And that is my goal. So I'm really proud of myself, and I'm proud of my channel, because now my channel has boundaries, healthy boundaries. And there may be some nasty comments out there still that I haven't come across yet, but I'm scrolling through and I'm looking for those in particular to take care of right away, and then I'll go back and I'll respond to all the others. And it's really amazing how I realized this, because I don't know what I was so afraid of to confront my daughter. And, well, yeah, maybe I do. I had left her father. We had endured a very, very stressful primary custody battle where we had to fly back and forth from New Hampshire numerous times, and it was extremely stressful for me, even though she did tell me, "Ma, I knew you were going to win. Don't worry, I knew you were going to win." Well, I didn't, but thank goodness I did. But I had to drag her through that because the court required me to do that. And her father required me to do that. And had he simply agreed to the primary custody, she would not have been subjected to all of that. Yet, interestingly enough, I have a very strong feeling that they are very close now. Do I care? No. Because they are two peas in a pod, and I wish them both well, and I also wish them to stay out of my life forever, because I'm very happy now, without all the drama, without all the pain, without all the chaos, and without all of the unnecessary secondhand abuse that I'm sure all of their friends have been told about me, which is very common with abusers, by the way. They will cast the other person in a very negative light to gain sympathy, and of course that's what's going on. And do I care? No, I don't care at all. And I'm just going to reiterate, I am well aware of a higher power, and this higher power has been watching it all. And I know that everything I feel and everything I've done has been seen by this higher power. And that's all I need. I don't need anything else. And so, if some of you see a particularly nasty comment, feel free to point it out to me, because I may not have noticed it yet. And my new boundaries are going to exclude all of these people who obviously are abusing their privilege to leave a comment and to use their hateful intentions to cause harm. And as of today, that is no longer happening. So I'm really happy to announce this. And yeah, I'm going to talk about this estrangement scenario much more, because the outpouring of responses has been stunning and has been very overwhelming and sad to see. And I had no idea it was such a common occurrence these days. This world is becoming a very dark place, and I am a light in that darkness. And I believe that is my purpose, because I've always been this way, and if darkness comes my way, I will outshine them. Simple as that. Always have, always will. And so moving forward, I hope you're all having a great day. Please feel free to leave your comment. And I'm really excited that I finally realized this, and I'm taking action. And yeah, please feel free to ask me any more questions about what it was like to be a mom. I am not finding blame in anyone, including my ex-husband. Why? Because people are the way they are. And who am I to find blame, right? I'm not any better than any other person. I am me. So here comes the wind. I hope it didn't ruin my video. And take care, everyone.